Hi, welcome to Modern Tools, Better Service, how AI and free software can transform your customer service experience. My name is Brandie Schmidt, and I'm the Outreach Coordinator in Kansas City for VetBiz, where we connect veterans, military spouses, and their families with the resources and tools they need to be successful in launching a new business. I'm here to talk about how we can utilize artificial intelligence and the free softwares that come along with it in an effort to transform how we communicate with our customers and ensure that we are making a good experience for those that are doing business with us. Let's dig in. All right, so first up, automating the customer service experience. There's a handful of ways that we can do this, and it may seem impersonable, but this is just a tool for you to better communicate with your customers and set some boundaries and expectations for them. Of the different things that we can do, we can create a frequently asked questions chat box. I think most of us have already experienced this as a consumer, as a lot of companies are picking this concept up. We can create automated order and schedule confirmations, send out confirmations of a message received. We'll dig into that one in a little bit. We can also send newsletters of information and welcome emails to ensure that our customers are feeling connected to our company and ourselves. We're going to start here with an order or a schedule confirmation. So what is this? So this is going to be an automatic message or email that goes out to a customer when they place an order with us or schedule an appointment. This seems like something that's super easy to do because it is. Most email platforms will offer this as a service of what you're already paying for. And so I highly recommend that we start there when we start looking into getting these automatic messages out. So an automatic email can go out under a handful of different circumstances. One of them being when a customer places an order or schedules an appointment, right? That makes the most sense. They've done business with you, they've got themselves on your calendar, and this email would allow them to have that confirmation that you received the order or your calendar has also received the appointment. What's really neat about this concept is that you are communicating with your customer immediately. There's no wait time. They're not, waiting around for you to physically view that the order has come through and then send them a message, hey, I got your order, which for some of us could be hours or days. And so this automatic email will allow you to communicate that information to your customer that yes, your system, what you see, has this order or has this schedule on the calendar. You can confirm the details of that order or the appointment based on the input. So some of these automatic platforms will allow you to auto-populate certain information, the date of the order, what's in the order, how much it is, the date and time of the appointment, things of that nature. And that will ultimately depend on the platform that you use. And it also ensures the customer that you have received their information and or payment. So they do not have to question whether or not that charge went through, whether or not that appointment was made. There's a lot of confidence that can happen here with a very simple automatic, we got your order, we got your appointment email. And it also sets the expectation that you will provide that product or service. The customer does not have to be concerned that you didn't get it, it's not going to be sent, it's going to be delayed. There's this level of expectation that you're creating by offering these automatic emails. Another automated email that can be incredibly helpful in communicating with your customers and providing that top tier customer service is a confirmation of message received. So think of this as an auto reply. Again, this is going to be something that's offered with a lot of email platforms that we're already using. And what this does is allow the customer to know that you got their email or you got their message off of your website, and it gives you space and time to say, here's a time frame that you can expect to hear from me. So if you know that it is going to take you at least a day to respond to an email that's in your email box, you can set up an auto reply that communicates that with your customer or potential customer at this point, and when they can expect to hear from you. What does this do? Why is this important? So this is going to set up a expectation, right? We're telling the customer, hey, you want to talk to me? I love it. Here's when you can expect to hear from me. And when you follow through with that, you're creating a level of trust So if you say you will hear from me within 48 hours and you reach back out to that customer before that 48-hour window expires, they know that they can trust you at their word. It's super simple, doesn't cost you anything extra, and it does allow you to start building trust with someone who may or may not have done business with you yet. And they're sending you a message in an effort to start that relationship. And this trust is just something that has to come with interaction, and you can't duplicate this anywhere else than in setting these expectations. Newsletters and welcome emails. Now, these are two very distinctive concepts, but I want to make sure that we cover both of them. So this is something that, again, is done automatically. You can set these up to go out as often or under certain pretexts. So a welcome email can be sent the first time a new customer email is utilized with your company's website. And newsletters are something that are going to go out to a mailing list. And I can imagine that we all have received one or both of these in the course of our interaction as a consumer. So when you look at something like this, it's super important that you put yourself in your customer's shoes. How do I want to receive this as a customer? That's what you want to portray as the business owner, right? So we don't want it to be overly wordy. We don't want it to be useless information or filler or anything of that nature. We want our customers to engage. So when we think about welcome emails specifically, this is a personal touch that you can give your customers the first time they engage with you. And it allows you to introduce yourself, your customer to your business, maybe give a little bit of history into your company, talk about your why even, if that's something that's super important to you. But it does kind of give you that first look into how you do business and how you interact with customers. Newsletters though, right? I have subscribed to and unsubscribed to newsletters as a consumer. And there are some that I really do look forward to receiving. And then there are others where I know they're coming, and I know that I'm going to be up to date on something. So if we look at some bigger brands, like Build-A-Bear, for example, I get a weekly, sometimes bi-weekly update from them. I am a very large consumer of their products, and their newsletter gives me updates on what new bears they have coming out, what new collaborations that they have coming down the pipeline. And so I stay up to date on what to expect. And they also can share with me sales or coupons or things of that nature within those newsletters. And so this is something that you can duplicate for your own company and communicating that information with your customers. So if you are going to have an upcoming sale, or you've got a new product that's launching, or a new service that you're adding, these are the sort of things that you can announce in a newsletter. So if you're in a service industry, if you are in plumbing, for example, and you had started out doing home repairs, right? So you're just replacing broken pipes under the sink, or, what have you. I don't know a lot about plumbing, but let's just say that's the only service that you offer in the beginning. And then you get a new machine that allows you to do sewage pipe cleanouts. I know personally, I engage in that activity a lot. I own an older home. So you purchase this new equipment, you're now able to offer this secondary service. Well, anybody who has hired you for their pipe repair, right, would have provided you with an email. So you can send out a newsletter saying, hey, new service. We've got this new equipment, we've hired this new employee, or whatever. However you want to portray that to your customers. And so you can announce that new service is available to them. And so if and when they need that particular service, they now know that they can reach out to you for that. And so this is just a way for you to stay incredibly engaged with them. And statistically, welcome emails have the highest open rate over any other automated email. So if you do only one of these two things, let it be that welcome email, right? We want our customers to engage and get to know us. And this is one of those really easy ways that you can set it and forget it, much like a crock pot, when it comes to your business. Okay, we've talked about all the automated things that we can do, right? These are things that we've been experiencing for years, if not decades, depending on how old we are. But the real bread and butter of artificial intelligence in today's market is these chatbots. What is a chatbot? A chatbot is a computer program that you can talk to, like texting with a person. It can answer questions, it can help you with tasks, or it can give you information, kind of like a virtual assistant that's always available. Chatbots offer an ability to communicate with your customers without actively engaging. And we can do that based on how we set up our chatbots. Now, something I want you to give serious consideration to is whoever you use for your website platform probably offers chatbot as a service. We're starting to see this kind of across the board now. If yours doesn't, and or they do and you don't like it, you want something different, there are third-party applications that you can add to your website that offer a chatbot, a lot of them with a free level, very basic, and then you pay up, right? So we want to do things as free or low cost as possible when we're starting our business. That doesn't kick us out of the chatbot market. And so one of the really simple things that you can do with a chatbot that typically doesn't cost is have an interactive frequently asked questions page. And so it would operate like a conversation, like a GPT conversation, where a customer would type in a question and your chatbot would scour your FAQ page to find the information that matches the keywords that your customer has typed in. And it's a really neat way for your customer to feel like they're talking to your company. And it allows for that personable interaction, because sure, your customer can just go to the frequently asked questions and look and see if the information that they're looking for is on that page. But we live in a world of instant gratification, and I don't want to go digging for it. I want the information right now. And if I have to go looking for it, then I don't want to do that. And so these chatbots kind of help bridge the gap between those types of customers and the FAQ. And maybe the information that they're looking for isn't listed there. Well, they can quickly find that out with even a basic chatbot. If they're looking for, do you offer a very specific service, and it's in your etc. section of your services offered, the chatbot's not going to be able to provide that. So then your potential customer knows that they now do need to send an email or call your business directly. And it kind of helps create that level of communication with your potential customers. You can get far more in depth with this, right? So we can have chatbots on our website that interact directly with the ChatGPT platform. But we don't have to go that deep. We can keep it very, very simple, especially when we're still learning AI, right? And very few of us have an education or a lived experience with AI in a deep understanding. So we don't have to, go into, a second education for that, right? We can start small and grow. But making sure that your customers stay informed and that they're getting the information that they need in whatever capacity makes sense for them. A chatbot is just another way to get that information, because you're going to have people who don't want to interact with the chatbot. And they will go to the frequently asked question page, and they will go digging for the information that they're looking for. But by offering both, you're not carving yourself out to a specific personality type within your customer in terms of getting information back and forth. Chatbots can also provide some of those automated resources that are services that we were talking about, the order confirmation and things like that. So as you get to know the chatbot that you use for your business, you can integrate that service as well. Okay, so how do we find the free AI options, right? So bootstrapping your access to AI and automation is easy, but also overwhelming. So in creating this slide deck, I used Microsoft Copilot specifically to find me the information that I needed, right? Where do we go? How free can this be? How low cost can this be? Or am I looking into a concept that is just wildly inaccessible? And I found that it wasn't. So here I've listed just a few of the platforms that we can use to look into AI options, right? Microsoft Copilot. So if you're already paying for Microsoft subscription, the 365 or what have you, Microsoft Copilot is now a part of that. It's not an extra cost. Apple Intelligence, if you have any Apple devices, the iPhone, the iPad, Apple Intelligence is included in that. ChatGPT, which is the original, the OG, if you will, that service remains free. And then Google Gemini is the Apple Intelligence counterpart for that. You can also utilize Google Gemini on the Google's website on your computer. You don't have to necessarily have a Google device for that. And then in communicating with my Microsoft Copilot, I was able to find some AI chatbots that offer a free level of their service. So HubSpot, Noop, and Bot Pigeon are all third-party chatbot softwares that you can add to your website that have a service that's free. Now, all three of these have tiered services. So based on what it is you want your chatbot to do, right, it will come with some fees. But these three specifically have free options, and we love free. That's what we're here for, right? Let's do this as inexpensively as we can. So when we're looking at AI, and we're specifically looking at ChatGPT and or systems that are built upon the ChatGPT network, like Apple Intelligence, there's ways that we can use this, and it doesn't have to just be in the way that we communicate with our customers. This can also be the way that we utilize search engines in an effort to find resources for ourselves. So I implore you, if you're thinking about getting AI involved in your business, especially when it comes to communicating with your customers, to use ChatGPT as an assistant to what you're doing. I have learned that I can talk to ChatGPT as a fast Google. So I grew up with Google personally. Google and we get along for the most part. But sometimes I need the information that I'm looking for a lot faster than scrolling through pages of Google results and, looking for the resources that I need. So ChatGPT offers me that. So if you are wanting to utilize ChatGPT as a resource as a business owner, when you go to talk with it, be specific. The more details you get, the better the output, right? That seems like a no-brainer. But if you are looking, if you just type in, I want free AI options, they're going to give you all sorts of stuff. So be specific that it's for your business and what specifically within your business you're wanting that free AI to do. I'm looking for free AI to help me automate my order emails or what have you. Be specific. And then ask follow-up questions. So treat ChatGPT like a conversation. If you've ever done a research project where you've needed to find resources to prove a point that you are writing about, this is like that. So you're going to find that original source and be like, okay, this is great, but how does it pertain to point A or point B? Well, then that would be what you would enter into ChatGPT. Like, okay, well now, can it do this? Can it do that? Can I do multiple things? So ask follow-up questions. I'm looking for an AI to automate my order confirmation. Awesome. It spits it all out. Ask a follow-up question. Do any of these options have a free tier? And so on and so forth. You can use ChatGPT to create a template. So you can save prompts that work well for repeated use. So within Microsoft Copilot, if there's a question that I ask frequently, and I'm not going to use the same answer every time, I can save that as a template to say, I needed to bring that back up so that I can find a secondary option, or like the first option I picked out. So I'm going to look at the next one, and so I can save that. You can also use it to create templates in how you organize your business, which is really great. And it can go looking for things that are useful to a particular subject that you're looking to get more information on. So if you want to know what's trending, how are customers wanting to be communicated with, for example, save that. Because what it answers today is going to be very different than what it answers in 6 months. or even a couple of weeks, depending on how the trends are rolling. So using that template allows you to continue to stay in the know. And then always double check, right? ChatGPT is pulling from the internet, and not everything on the internet is true. So always review the content before publishing or sending. If you've asked ChatGPT to write a welcome message for you, that's great. But read it, make sure it doesn't, have any missing words, or, make sure that it is actually doing what you've asked it to do. You can also ask it to rewrite in a different tone. If how it originally writes doesn't sound like you can ask it to change itself for that. And ChatGPT and other search engines, they search that internet for you, right? And so you're going to get overview suggestions, and sometimes you're going to get links to the information that they've gathered. That happened to me while I was doing this research. When I asked it to find me free chatbots for business owners, I got a long list of links to third parties. Those 3 that I shared on the last slide were the top. Now, how did I know that they were the top? They weren't necessarily the top 3. And what ChatGPT spit out to me, I clicked on several of them, and then I'm reading reviews. So I'm still doing research, and ChatGPT isn't doing everything for me, but it is getting that beginning part of it solidified for me. And so I was able to go and search the different places and make sure that I am getting information and providing it to you in a way that I know what I'm talking about. But that doesn't mean that ChatGPT didn't help. All right, so what now? We've talked about automating our emails, creating a welcome newsletter, a welcome email, and a newsletter, 2 separate things. We've talked about chatbots. We've talked about how to use ChatGPT and the like to benefit ourselves. So what do you do now, right? I've just talked to you for the last 20 minutes about how to check into AI to better our business and better our communication with our customers. And now I'm going to offer you an opportunity to communicate with me. So here's how to get connected with Brandie Schmidt. I am active on LinkedIn. I recommend you follow my page. I will share relevant information that's happening in the Kansas City and Kansas networks around building a business, being in the ecosystem of entrepreneurship, as well as anything that VetBiz directly is doing, like this. You would have found this on my LinkedIn page if we were not already connected. You can shoot me an email, schmidt@vetbiz.com. It's typed out right there. I'm not going to spell it like I normally do. Send me an email. If you've got questions about this, if you want to know how I found my information, if you want to talk about why do customers want to talk to a chatbot, let's have a conversation about it. Shoot me an email. If you're a veteran or a military spouse thinking of starting a business and you have come across this video on your own, right, without me sending you to it, let's talk. I want to make sure that you are connected to the resources that you need to be successful. The more successful veteran and military spouse businesses that are out there, the better the small business environment is. That is my personal opinion. I'll stand by it. Are you already running a startup and you're ready to scale? We can talk about that too. I'm not just in the business of brand new businesses. I will talk about business all day, every day, because it is so much fun to see people take an idea, take a dream, turn it into something amazing, hire employees, spread that dream across several households. And then as a consumer, having options as a consumer is always going to be a good thing, again, in my opinion. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you find some useful information here, stuff that gets you thinking, right? I'm not going to tell you how to do it, when to do it, why to do it, but I want you thinking about it. Are there ways that we can connect AI to our business that's going to help us better communicate with our customers? Can we set stronger, more solid boundaries around our work and our life? Can we ensure that our customers are getting what they need and you are but one person and or one team, and utilizing artificial intelligence to your advantage is going to be key in making sure that you are connecting all of the dots. I hope you have a great summer. Thank you.